Alright, so I just finished up in Wither, and right now I'm just gonna head over to, I'm gonna keep exploring a little north, but yeah, I'm basically just gonna head back to London, unfortunately. Don't really have much of a choice at this point, because my fuel's running low. Yeah, fuel and supplies, like I said, that tends to be one of the biggest bugbears. Late, early game, like whatever, it tends to just kind of suck in general. You tend to have a fairly large amount of each just to get anywhere. Oh, fuck. Yeah, ice or lifebergs. Very, I love the name Lifeberg. An iceberg that's alive, and as you'd probably expect, not fun to fight. You can't see it, but they have about 300 health to our 75, and our weapons do basically nothing against them at this point in the game. Okay, here we're at the nearby island of Codex. I'm just gonna pick this one up quickly because it's a really easy one. And hey, port report, right? So Codex, it's a desperate cave full of mute exiles and an inexplicable colony of shivering, bad-tempered monkeys. It's a very odd place because everyone here is mute, which means that getting answers is tough, as you could probably expect. The good news is it's one of the few places, and actually one of the places that's closest to town, to get a doomed monster hunter. Doomed monster hunters they're expensive. First of all, this one requires a Searing Enigma, which is a very hard to get item, and I I don't even know if you'll see one this playthrough. But one of the interesting things about them is that although I've only ever used the weapon once, basically they're not like people, they're not crew or anything like that. These doomed monster hunters, I guess they technically are people, they are ammunition for an extraordinarily powerful weapon. Yeah, like let that sink in. These monster hunters, when they say they're willing to lay down their lives, like at first I was like, oh, okay, that means, maybe they're willing to join up on the crew, although if that's the case, why are they so expensive? And nope, they will serve as basically cannonballs in one of the end game's most powerful weapons. It's not, I don't use it almost ever. I used it once just to check it out in an old playthrough, and it's not that I was like, dissatisfied with it or anything. It's just that considering the price tag attached to it and considering the price of the ammunition, it's really like you might as well just use something else. If I ever get it in the game, I tend to only use it against like really hard enemies. So yeah, here we're going. Ooh, and oh, it's a civilian ship. You can attack civilians, which I mean, obviously. Ooh, bat swarms. Z-bats are actually really useful for one, they give you a fair amount of fragments just for spotting them, and two, if you kill them, you can cook them, which is great actually because it means that you can save on supplies. And as you can see here, let's see here. In this case, it gives you an option. You can get into the pot, so you gain one terror but lose one supply, or just throw away the corpses, but you lose one terror. Considering that early, like I know I've said how dangerous terror can be, but considering this is so early into the game, and plus we're going straight back to the Fallen London anyway, I'm just gonna take the hit to terror and hey, one more supply. Remember that's like a $20 value right there. I might as well just stop in at a vendor bite, just do the usual explore, etc. thing. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see here. Explore vendor bite. Oh, remnants. In a wide space behind the hollow temple, you happen across a steeped platform of sorts. Four statues guard it, marked with glyphs all but lost to time in idle vandalism. They look a bit like the glyphs that decorate the Echo Bazaar in Fallen London, though. At the heart of the platform is a long, filled well shaft, too. You poke about briefly, but something of the place makes you unpleasant. A frost moth, the size of a farmer's hand, flutters down to perch on the well's edge. Another, a third. You retreat. Very interesting. Alright. Actually, out of curious. So, that was weird. A frost moth. Yeah, that's. If anything can be. Like, if. Because, as I've said, the gameplay in this game is. Like, it tends to swing between, like, good slash serviceable to not very good slash not serviceable. it's never really bad or great, but except for the exploration aspect. But while the writing is on point, I'd say that if I had one minor complaint about the writing, it's that sometimes I do feel as if there are so many questions and so much information that's left unanswered. And this is considering that Fallen London is this, and well, actually, it really does make sense. Like Fallen London, compared to Fallen London, of course, you're not going to be getting as much information because Fallen London is this massive, self-contained world. It's got all this information, and more importantly, Fallen London is designed basically to find almost every single detail about one city. So you're going to be learning everything about that place as you explore it. Yes, the music. I may actually just turn down the music just a little bit, just because it's a little loud for my taste. Not too much, but there we go. I'll stop it and just keep. I'll talk to Phoebe. I haven't talked to her yet, so she's the youngest, so soft voice, watchful, unpredictable. She's a story to tell of two lovers parted by water, of a raven that carries messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song that only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the starlight of the dining room to the false stars glistening in the roof of the cavern. You drift like puffballs roar. The undersea shimmers below. Islands glide like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There's a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, said Phoebe. Everything changed. Somewhere out there, you finished the last of the course. The scaling maid reluctantly serves cheese and mouthful of her biscuits. So I got a memory just in short from that one. And now apparently something has changed. Interesting. Well, apparently not that much has changed because things showed up in the menu. Alright. I actually do know what changed, but again, because I'm not trying to keep this like a spoiler-free LP. Obviously, like this is basically just me talking about the game and everything. But I'm also trying to go through it as if this was the first time I'd ever played it, because one of the problems is that because I'm playing this at such sorry, I thought there was a thing over here to discover. Because I'm playing this at such a late point in my gaming career, so to speak, or just for this game in particular, it means that I know a lot of the secrets, and it does mean that at certain points, the game, it's things that would have surprised me may not have surprised me. So I'm just trying not to reveal too much. Anyway, once I get to London here, something. I have to go wash my hands. Anyway, here back at Fallen London. Let's see, collect messages from the Harbor Master. Alright, so this happens basically anytime you show up in Fallen London after getting the something awaits you back at port, something awaits you thingy. Oh, 1 second here. And it is actually really helpful. What it does is if your terror is above 50, it'll drop it to exactly 50. You'll get it calls it someone wants to sign on. I think this is something that never really changed. It's more like something, it basically gives you, oh yeah, no, here it is, a free evening, which gives you 1 free evening to spend in Fallen London to do whatever you want. The Rose Market, which is a newer edition, well, newer, later in the game's history, I should say, which basically anytime that you show up, the Rose Wharf the Rose Market will change, and something has changed underneath. As well as you can see, there's a lot more options than before. So let's see here. Let's go to this first one. Actually, you know what? I'll end this episode here, and then next time we can do we'll start going through the list.